But there's some talented quarterbacks. We're about to dive into it with the Ole Miss LSU quarterback discussion. I want to start just a couple of tidbits on Nuss. Obviously, if you watched that game on Saturday, that was the first time you saw 13 Nussmeier back. You saw him looking comfortable, like himself. It wasn't this handcuffed, different, calm version of LSU's lead man of QB1. So he looked like himself. He made plays. That pop was back. He was 25 of 31, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. And so far on the season, he's 94 of 137, 962 yards, 6 TDs to 2 interceptions. And then in 2024 against Ole Miss, last season he was 22 of 51, 337, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. So not his best performance, but if you remember that game, which you definitely should, he made the plays down the line, down to the wire of that game to keep LSU alive. So LSU will be going into Oxford with a Garrett Nussmeier that's looking like himself, made some really good throws. Lloyd, a couple of the clips that I put in there, I want to do the ones that are just called playmaker of Garrett Nussmeier, because these are the ones that I think, like, obviously they're not going to stand out like the Nick Anderson throw, the Barryon Brown touchdown throw, some of the ones he made where you finally saw him kind of unlock his ability. These are the ones where you could tell he was comfortable when he's making plays. And they're just, it's 2 checkdowns. It's nothing special. It's not anything where it's like, oh my gosh, this athletic feat that he did. But it's 2 plays where it kind of broke down and he made the play. And those were 2 that stood out to me, showing me that Nussmeier was back to being comfortable playing the quarterback position, quarterbacking, not just being a gunslinger, throwing it around the field, this, that, or the other. This is Nussmeier quarterbacking in these couple of clips.
Which one do you want?
They should say either make a play, playmaker, those clips where it's just Nussmeier quarterbacking, making plays, keeping it alive, allowing it to not be a turnover, those sorts of things. Like, what was the sentence was, let the worst thing be 0, which is incomplete pass, throwing it away, running out of bounds at the line of scrimmage, those sorts of things. Whether you're taking what's in front of you or you just dump it off, check it down. Take what's there. And these are a couple of plays that showed Nussmeier being comfortable and making the play rather than trying to do too much. And this is what I really like. Like this one right here, he rolls right. They fall for the stunt again, but he makes the play. And then Durham also follows and makes a play. Now, this ended up being the 4th and 11, but rolls out. The offensive line crumbles with the stunt again. He rolls right to avoid pressure, and then across his body to the running back. That's comfortable quarterbacking right there.
And this is something you've seen from him more recently where he's starting to get a sense of, whoa, hey, Brian Kelly, that's not me. One day, maybe. Where you see that he knows where kind of the deficiency is on the offensive line. He almost has like his ears perked up to that right side, whether it's him doing the old Nussmeier special where he bails out and does the bail out the pocket left and like spin around and he starts going left. And then you see this one where he knows to escape on because he sees the stunts coming now. Like he knows how they're going to attack it, whether it be trying to stun on Josh Thompson or get inside of Weston Davis. He knows where that pressure is going to be coming from. And even now you see Caden Durham be aware of where he probably should like have his eyes where he's supposed to block because it seems like if there's pressure coming, it's definitely coming from that right side. And that's where he's almost instinctively maneuvering a way to get out of the pocket, whether it be bailing left or immediately running right. And it kind of takes the stunt out of play.
Right. Yeah, and then the other one where it was make a play, I think in all caps, was another just easy check down for Nuss where he's making the play. Steps up, sees it's not there.
Caleb Jackson.
Like that is
Get
so
some.
Eat some shoulder. That's so good. Like this is good quarterbacking, manipulating the pocket. This is making your offensive line better than they are.
Joe Burrow stuff.
Like Tyree doesn't do an exquisite job there, but Nussmeier kept Tyree Adams between him and the defender. And that's just good quarterbacking. Dumps it off to Caleb Jackson. This is good chemistry between them two on this play. Great chip. Drops back, and then Caleb's ready, gets it. And this is what people get excited about with Caleb Jackson. Puts his foot in the ground, makes one cut, and then gets some momentum going forward. Here, sees it, makes a cut,
And if he
gets
gets
some momentum, eats some. Just get in the ground, brother. But that's good
when
quarterback.
He gets going downhill.
Like, buddy, why are you trying this?
That's all you can do. Put your face in the fan.
Try it. Good job by the DB for Southeastern.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't remember it.
No, not at all. But that's good quarterbacking by Nussmeier. The last one, Lloyd, that I want to play is, I think it says, "That's my QB" in all caps. It really fired me up when I was watching it. This one, I mean, this is another, it's Nussmeier making plays, which is what I really liked from what I saw Saturday. Not just that he looked healthy and he was throwing, he had the pop back. He was making plays. He was comfortable back there. He was doing all these different things with his body, and he was making the plays that were there to be made. Made his offensive line better than they are on a couple of occasions, like that one we just showed you. And this is another one of Nussmeier going out there making the play. There's pressure in his face from the right side again, rolls left, rips one on the money, Xavier Thomas touchdown. But, like, makes a play. I still get nervous when I see that move. But he makes the play. You can see he's comfortable, he's healthy. That's Garrett Nussmeier.
And this is
it's savvy in the backfield again.
This is the best version of him. It's not the panic version.
That's
where he
what I
gets
was
pressure.
gonna say. It's
calculated.
It's calm, like you don't lose your head. You know what to do if this breaks down, which way to go. Like none of it looks rushed, none of it looks flustered. It's just like
I know where I am. I have everybody
am.
Accounted for.
Right.
I know, and then when I get my eyes back up field, I know where everybody's supposed to be. And Xavier Thomas has been. Stop it, Brian. This is my turn.
Got to get your hot cuts right.
He hopped into one of my shortcuts. But this is where it's like Xavier Thomas, I don't think has gotten enough credit for his ability to kind of do everything. Whether, like we said at the beginning of the year, you've seen this kind of maturation at the wide receiver position because he was brought in as like, oh, look, you have a kick returner, you have a punt returner.
Right.
And you didn't really expect much else. But then when you saw him play on offense, like, damn, he's more than just a specialist. Like, he was getting handoffs where he was going for 8-10 a pop. Like, okay, he can do that. Get him the ball in space. And now he's become a mature route runner where he's a
really good football player.
Really good football player where, like, now he's going to get drafted.
He's a really good football player, and he is playing such good football right now. Like, when you look at the wide receiver room right now, like Barry and Brown's playing really good football as well. Aaron's playing well. I think Xavier might be playing the best right now. Like, so far through 4 games, he's just been so consistent in all the things he's done, and he looks really good. Obviously, Aaron Anderson's still the guy, but Xavier looks good. But I just want to touch on a few of those things around Garrett Nussmeier before we get into the Ole Miss quarterback discussion, because that's who you're going into Oxford with. And I think there's some confidence that can be instilled back into us and into the fan base from watching what you watched the first 3 weeks to now what you've seen against Southeastern.
Well, I mean, but we knew enough about Nuss that, and that's why the first 3 weeks felt so bizarre, because, like, that's just not the guy that we have. Like, physically, that's not the same player,
right.
And so just seeing him just look like, like even a close approximation of what he was last season is such a huge relief.
This is
you're
who
like,
I remember.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like the guy's still there and he just wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And we were just doing our best with a pretty limited version. So, yeah, I think it's a huge
confidence boost.
Yeah, everybody can take a bit of a
sigh
breath.
of relief.
And that's why you had Brian Kelly be able to go to the podium and be like, he's on the other side of it. Like, they obviously saw something differently. Or I guess he's healed now, and that's why it's. Whenever you saw the first 3 weeks, you're like, I saw Nussmeier play last year. This is not the same person.
Right.
And, like, so don't act like it's crazy for us to be like, is he, like, there's something physically limiting him to be able to play the position.
You don't lose the ability to physically throw the football. You know
right.
what I mean?
Right. And so something happened.
Yeah.
And you could see that, and now it feels like I don't know if this is a 1 week sample. Like, it's hard to declare him all the way back because you don't know how the recovery process goes. If that was him trying to play at 100%, it becomes back where this week of preparation, he's not as. It takes him longer to heal because of how he played, where he put more stress on his body, and he did throw it deep. He took chances. He did not play the version of football that he hated playing. And you could see the frustration, whether it was dealing with Brian Kelly on the sideline or just kind of his overall lack of enthusiasm for being the quarterback, because he's like, I can't do the position how I want to do it, and I'm trying to play within the scheme that y'all are setting up for me to be healthy at some point. But him being able to go out there and rip it, that's Garrett Nussmeier.
Right.
And you limited him, and now if he can make
again, to get out of the pocket, to do things he needs to do, and know that he can make the throw, I think that could be like a serious upgrade, because you're no longer depending on just the O-line to keep him just totally clean in the pocket and let him get clean throws. So
he's back to being comfortable.
Yeah, and if that can mean that there's like 20% less pressure on the O-line to be perfect, that's fucking tremendous, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Into the discussion on the Ole Miss quarterbacks, there is a quarterback controversy in Oxford right now of just trying to choose who is the guy. Austin Simmons, like I said, the game one starter for the 2025 season. He is number 13, 6'4", 215. Numbers on the season, 34 of 56, 580 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks, 16 rushes, 69 yards, and a touchdown. He is a lefty. And then the guy that stepped in after he went down against Kentucky, number 6, Trinidad Shambliss, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 42 of 62, 719 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then 36 carries, 195 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. They've both been sacked twice this season. So, I and Lloyd, I think, agrees, and Jonathan, maybe you as well. I do not think that there's a quarterback controversy at all. I think it's pretty obvious who the guy is. And it's number 6, Trinidad Shambliss, the senior out of Ferris State, a D2 power that won the national championship last year with him at the helm there in Big Rapids, Michigan. He played high school football in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So he was with the Ferris State Bulldogs, won the national championship in Division II, transfers to Ole Miss. And I think he's the guy, man. Like, we're going to get into some of the film as well on him. I watched Tulane and Arkansas for Trinidad yesterday. And he's a playmaker. He's an impressive athlete. He looked comfortable against Tulane because I saw a stark difference in comfortability at that spot against Arkansas and against Tulane, which can do with level of opponent, but also can do with the fact that was a first start versus a second start. They run him like crazy.
Well, they run him like they have options at quarterback.
Right. He
ain't no protecting him.
15 for 62 and 2 touchdowns against Arkansas, 14 for 112 against Tulane. Like, they run him a lot. He can rip the football. He throws a fastball, but he's also got really good touch, which we'll show in some of these clips. The biggest difference between these two quarterbacks outside of the rushing ability to me is Trinidad seems a lot calmer. Like, he's calm under pressure when the offensive line collapse, those sorts of things. He doesn't freak out. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He's got no picks to Austin Simmons' 4 interceptions, and they've each played 2 games. So, I mean, they've both had the opportunities, and Trinidad has not turned the ball over, and that obviously has to do with the fact that he can run a little bit better than Simmons can, because Simmons is mobile.
Lane Kiffin's going to get a guy that can move a little bit.
Right.
He's not, never had a statue.
Because that's the thing. The offense is the exact same for both of them. Like, it did not change from Simmons to Chambliss. It's the same offense, but they are different in that way. He takes what's there. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. To me, number 6, Trinidad Shambliss, is the guy. Should be the starting quarterback for Ole Miss. If I'm looking at it unbiased, I feel like it's a pretty obvious choice.
It seems like it's one of those things where he seems so much better that it's kind of like, well, how did this other guy beat him in camp? Is it just a case of him being like a gamer?
Right.
I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there should really be any argument to me.
And with all that said, the one person pulling the trigger and making these decisions says otherwise.
And then what factors are you considering when deciding the quarterback situation for LSU?
Health, for sure. See if Austin's at 100%. These guys are really good. They're voted on defense. They're the best in on defense since we played them. Obviously, with the acquisitions that we talked about, and really shutting down the run. So, to look to evaluate his health and then make a decision today was just a walkthrough. So, not enough to evaluate. But at 100%, he's our starting quarterback. But we don't know what percentage he'll be.
So at 100%, Austin is our starting quarterback. And I think this is Lane probably politicking a little bit, where he doesn't do it often, where he doesn't say what's exactly on his mind, but there is probably the best way that we could, like why you've seen Simmons maybe more than Trinidad, is there has to be an NIL component, like a promise that, like, look, if we said that we'd keep you, Jackson Dart came back, and you were able to keep him on the roster. It's like, this is your team. Whenever Jackson goes, I kind of have put all my eggs in this Simmons basket, and you're going to give him every opportunity to play. But Trinidad has just looked better.
Well, and that's he's given Kiffin a struggle in this decision-making process, because I agree with Lloyd. Like, I feel like there's something committed to Austin, maybe not just NIL or whatever, or promises. Trinidad's a senior. Austin's a true sophomore. So, like, not only
Redshirt sophomore. You've got time. Like, you've got Austin for more time. So you want he's kind of the future of your program as well as can be the present. So I do think it's an interesting, because Danny Cannell made the point I saw, and I don't agree with him on much, but I did see this, and he was like, it's going to be a dynamic of, are you choosing what's best for you to win football games, which to our eye is Trinidad Shambliss, or are you choosing what's best for the NIL and the promises and those sorts of balance with what would seem like the Austin Simmons choice?
And also maybe the long-term benefit of the program.
Right. Because I think right now, if you're talking about just what helps you Ole Miss win football games, it's Trinidad Shambliss playing
it's like,
quarterback.
Who do you hope they start?
I mean, there are the numbers for Trinidad and his two starts so far. I mean, it's just it's
video game shit.
It's video game stuff, and we can get into some of the clips that we have as well. Just any of them, Lloyd, that say QB draw, runner, playmaker. I want to show him running first, because this is the biggest thing to me. Where if you can make him one-dimensional, LSU's in a really good spot. I think LSU can do that defensively, but the conversation is 2024 and 2023 LSU defenses, they couldn't stop a guy like this.
No,
at all.
He's the nightmare.
He is what would have been a nightmare for LSU the last two seasons. And what Ole Miss has shown me through the games they've played with him at quarterback is they're not going to stop running him. Like, they are going to keep doing it, because it's who they are. It's their offense. That's how they run things. And he's going to pose that challenge for LSU, where this is just a straight-up quarterback draw. And he makes this out of it, you know? Like, that's a talented runner of the football. It's a 3rd and 3. They call a straight-up QB draw. Out of the pistol, bounces it outside. They lost contain on the edge, and this is what can happen if you aren't crisp, because Tulane played it well. The guy was there to set the edge and didn't. And so what happened was Trinidad Shambliss made you pay. Like, the edge was there to be set on this play, and it was a missed assignment by the Tulane defender. And in this one place where I have confidence in LSU is that Blake Baker's going to have them prepared in the right spots, do all the right things. But this is what can happen if you make that mistake, you know? And I agree with Andrew Messina. There's no Perk or Weeks on that Tulane defense. That's true. But it just comes down to you have to execute what's in front of you. And this guy's talent, this is 3rd and 6. And this one, I think they motioned the tight end into the backfield. Number 8 is Daquan Wright. Mm-hmm. So they motioned the tight end into the backfield with him. Diggs, 22, is obviously the running back, former LSU running back Logan Diggs. We'll get into the running back and the skill guys tomorrow. But they motioned the tight end into the backfield. So if you see 8 motioned into the backfield, get ready for a quarterback run, a quarterback draw. Here he is dropping back. Here's the pressure. That's a playmaker, you know? Like, turn nothing into a first down. by his ability to stay calm under pressure. And obviously Tulane is not LSU, and I am not, from what I saw, I'm not impressed by Ole Miss's offensive line. But everyone can fall victim to that.
Yeah, that's one guy making a play.
Right. Like, everyone can fall victim to that. Not just because it's Tulane and LSU has better talent. They're not going to be in those positions. Everyone can fall victim to a playmaker making a play.
Also, I mean, like, you know, yeah, there's a huge difference in the level of talent, but this isn't like the Tulane that we're used to. This is a well-coached team.
Right.
You know, with lots of guys that have transferred in from bigger programs. You know, they have a pretty good roster, you know, and it's like, it's not like him beating up on some 1AA squad, you know, like they're top
Right.
35 caliber kind of team.
I mean, everybody was thought of Tulane as if it's like were considered and still
Right.
are considered to be a playoff team. There's somebody that can win their conference and get one of those like automatic bids that doesn't go to a Power 4 team. It's one of those Group of Five teams where Tulane is very much in heavy consideration for that. And what they haven't been a slouch over the last 2, 3, 4 years. Like they've been able to put together. I mean, this is a Tulane team that beat USC in a bowl game, and that was that USC team was trying, and that's where like a lot of people saying it's Tulane. Like it's not your mother's Tulane,
Right.
And so that's where everybody's putting a lot of stock into. Oh, they don't have LSU's defense, which is true.
Which is true. Yes.
But lest we forget what we've seen in the last 2 years, LSU could not stop a mobile quarterback. And would you say that Cade Klubnik was that? I mean, you'd still.
Yeah, I would say Lagway and Klubnik are mobile. They're not this guy.
Right.
They are not like.
And I would say Cade Klubnik, before you played him, was probably the best quarterback that you had played up to before you got into SEC play. And I would say he's better than Austin Simmons. Now, I didn't know about this guy, and now I do. And it does feel like somebody that it doesn't really. This type of talent, this type of ability to play make can beat scheme.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if you're in the right spot. He might just be innate ability to make a play,
Yeah.
and it's going to happen. Is I guess what I'm
Yes,
getting at. Like
yes.
he's gonna get you.
Well, and Lane is going to win some of the chess moves sometimes. Like there are going to be times, and it's about how can you avoid it. There's a clip in here that's titled "A Playmaker," Lloyd, and it's Chambliss making a play, and this is a guy that's extremely talented. He's savvy, he's smart, he's mature. But a level of competition does play a factor. Like, I'm not going to sit here and debate that with anybody. Mm-hmm. Tulane and Arkansas's defense are nowhere near the level of what LSU is going to bring into Oxford on Saturday. Nowhere near. But this guy's a playmaker. Pressure, steps up, eyes downfield, makes the play. Like, I don't think LSU is going to have missed assignments like this and this bad of tackling on the back end. But he made a play. Like, he broke your pressure. These are plays that Klubnik didn't make, Lagway didn't make. The pressure got here, and they crumbled. He's savvy, man.
And, I mean, Lagway did do this to you. It just got called back.
Right. Like, Trinidad, he keeps his eyes up, looks downfield while he manipulates the pocket and makes his way through. He's impressive. Like, watching the film, he is impressive. And you can do some of the ones that are named touch or bucket, because these are some of the throws, because he's not just a runner. Cody Jones, y'all's defense is much better than that. Yes, without a doubt. LSU's defense is, from everything you've seen up to this point, they don't have MAs like that. They don't miss assignments. There's not many coverage breaks besides the play that Lagway made that got called back. They're able to get pressure consistently. They haven't gotten caught with quarterback runs very often. And they've done such a good job in the back end. So I agree. Like, these defenses, I'm trying to preference as much as I can, are not to the level of LSU. But when you look at the film of this guy, he's extremely talented. Like, this is him. This is watching him throw. This is dropped in the bucket, man. Like, it's beautiful. Like, as much as I think if you make him one-dimensional, make him throw a lot, it can create issues. This is a good throw. Like,
that's confident.
I mean, and there was a guy.
It's double coverage, essentially.
There's a guy, he gets slugged there right at the end of the play.
Right, he's dropping it over the corner before the safety gets there, stood in the pocket. Like, that's a great throw. It really is. And those are some of the things that he can do with the football in his hands, not just as a runner. Some more pressure again. It's a confident throw in the bucket.
Right in the spot.
You know, like, LSU's defensive back end is not this bad. The coverage is going to be different, but that's a really good throw.
Well, you combine this with Lane's ability to draw things up and scheme. He'll know what you're doing defensively, and he'll draw up plays to try to attack. He knows ways to get outside of LSU's being very skilled on the outside and like running man-to-man coverage. Like he knows how to draw up beaters for that kind of thing. He knows when to dial up plays that, all right, I'll get you in a look. And we had this conversation whenever it was talking about Clemson of how you kind of what you do with Harold Perkins, and you've seen LSU kind of be the aggressor in that situation where Harold is dictating what you're doing offensively. Lane Kiffin knows very much about Harold Perkins. He's the one that came in whenever he was a true freshman, asked him what happened to your offense. He's like, they put 40 in the
40
game.
happened.
I didn't know he existed.
Right.
And he came in and wrecked the football game. Now Lane Kiffin knows about Harold Perkins, and I would say even respects him to a degree of like, I know that I can't let him ruin a football game for me again. And so there's going to be times where you put him on an island and you try to dictate or make LSU declare what they're doing defensively, and Harold Perkins be damned. It's also what they have on the back end and how this is why Lane was complaining a little bit about what LSU went and did in the portal. He's like, they went and got the 3 highest paid defensive players
They
you
paid
could
for the
go
3
get
best, the 3 most
in the
expensive
secondary,
because-
and they got all 3.
Because they were the 3 most expensive. Because through 4 weeks,
You're seeing
Mansour Delane is the best cornerback in college football, and A.J. Halsey and Tamarcus Cooley have been lights out. That's why they were the most expensive.
And this does not look like they have never played football together.
Right. It's a cohesive unit, and this is a Perkins spy game. Like, if Trinidad's the quarterback, Perk is stalking and watching in a similar way that he did to Klubnik, but I think almost even more exclusively because
You can't let them
this
beat
guy's a game breaker when he's like Cade Klubnik can get you with rushing ability. This guy can break the game with the football in his hands in space.
And you saw what happened with Cade Klubnik whenever you had Perkins kind of eyeballing him. He kind of took it out of his game.
Right.
Where he's like, I can't.
I'm not tucking and running.
I can't go anywhere.
Right.
And if you can, like you said, Chambliss does have the ability to do this to you. Like he's a better thrower of the football because you see the rushing numbers. You're like, oh. But, I mean, he's got talent.
Right, and they scheme it up, man. Like, that's another one where the wide receiver's open via scheme.
He's making it very easy for him.
Right.
And that's the difference to me whenever you see, whether it be Austin Simmons or Trinidad Shambliss, it's the ease in which he plays the position because of the experience that he has.
Yes.
Like, the moment's not big.
Right.
And for Simmons, it feels like it was moving very fast. Like, I feel much more confident if LSU was playing against Austin Simmons than I do against Trinidad
1000%.
Shambliss.
Yes.
Like you asked the question, like, which one would you rather?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd rather see Simmons.
Yeah, unbiased, Chambliss is the guy. I want Austin Simmons to line up at quarterback
Me
on Saturday.
too.
Yes.
And I want you to play the clip of RPO because this is what you can expect from this offense. Regardless of who the quarterback is, they're going to run the piss out of an RPO. Like, they will RPO you to death.
And you've seen, like,
and
that.
it's so efficient and good looking.
He is very good at it.
Like, look at, bang. Like, it's quick, man. And he gets it out fast. The decision is made fast. He's decisive. Like, it's all eyes on that backfield because the running back is extremely talented as well. We'll get into Lacey tomorrow. And then you can go into some of the Simmons clips as well, Lloyd. He has a play. I think I touted RPO as well. That's extremely similar. It's an RPO. It's quick. Even though he's left-handed, so it looks a little different. They're going to run the RPO regardless
This
of
is
who's
Lane's
there.
offense.
It's who Lane is. This is Chambliss again, RPO. Pulls it around the edge. Like, you're going to have to stop the zone read. I'll tell you that much. The thing you didn't do against Marcel last year for Texas A&M, you're going to have to stop it on Saturday. Here's Austin Simmons running the RPO. Snaps it. Like, it's clean and crisp regardless who's back there. Especially
with him where his issue has kind of been freaking out when there's pressure.
Right.
But if it takes him half a second to get the ball out,
Yes.
then that's not going to matter.
Well, that's what I wrote down with Simmons. I said he's a lefty. He's got good touch. You can see the youth. He's a good runner, not the same level of athlete. The biggest thing I wrote was when he's decisive, he's really good. Like that, he's decisive. He knows he's got 2 options. I give this out, I throw it there. Really clean, crisp. When he's flustered, he makes mistakes. There's a couple more clips in here of him, the quarterback draw. They're going to run this, but here's what happens when you get pressure on his face. They get interior pressure. Kentucky does.
Good.
Freaks out, throws it up. That's what, and that's why if you're LSU, you want to see 13 line up at quarterback, because if Bernard Gooden or Dominic McKinley can get pressure up the middle, AJ Halsey, Tamarcus Cooley, Mansour Delane, go up there and get the football.
Targeting.
Yeah. Is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's what happens when you put pressure on them. But the offense is going to look the same regardless who the guy is. I think Chambliss is easily the pick. But this is what I'll say. And Mike in the chat, I didn't realize we were playing against Michael Vick. He's not Mike Vick.
No.
But he is extremely talented. But this is what I think. LSU and Blake Baker can put Trinidad in, or whether it's Austin Simmons. I'm really confident if Austin Simmons gets the start. I'm extremely confident in what LSU can do. I think LSU is in a similar spot with Chambliss, where I think if you put pressure on him and you make him one-dimensional, and I think those are two things that LSU can definitely do against Ole Miss. Make him one-dimensional. You've done it consistently this season. You made Clemson one-dimensional. You made Florida and DJ Lagway one-dimensional, where Lagway threw the ball almost 50 times trying to win that game. Make them one-dimensional. Make Trinidad Shambliss one-dimensional. Make him beat you with his arm. Continue to put pressure on him. Don't let him break the game. You win. And I think all of those things Blake Baker's going to do a great job at doing. Consistently getting pressure back there. Not allowing him to break the game with his legs. That's why I think it's a Harold Perkins game. Those things, I'm confident what the LSU defense can do to either one of these guys.
I am interested to see how LSU defensively responds to the tempo in which Lane Kiffin likes to operate, whether it's very fast, get to the line of scrimmage. You take away a lot of what Blake Baker can do whenever you want to be multiple, get calls in to kind of change your defense, and Blake has been good at kind of – they have very what they say before the year, like he simplified everything. He made it easy for those guys to go play fast, but Lane Kiffin doesn't really give you time to get into different situations, and you heard Rowe talk about it a little bit yesterday. It's like, what's that base defense look like? Because that's what they're going to be operating out of 90% of the time. Whenever Lane Kiffin gets rolling and they give up a couple of first downs, LSU was giving up yards, but it's been bend but don't break.
Yeah.
And then they've been able to create turnovers, which is something you didn't see last year. But once they get rolling and they get those, first, like back-to-back first downs, and now it's 30 yards down the field, and they hit you with a couple of plays of like 15, 20, and then they're still rolling, and you're still stuck with whatever. You can't utilize what LSU likes to do well, which is rotate a bunch of these guys that you have defensively on your defensive line and in your secondary to be able to get to the packages that you want. So you're going to have to be very confident, and I think they are, in just being able to play pretty much assignment football, because I don't think Blake's going to be really in his bag like you've been able to see. Just he won't have the time to.
A couple of times against, and we were in the stands, so it's a little harder, but a couple of times that Florida moved the ball well, it was because that's what they were doing, right? Mm-hmm. They were going no huddle. They were keeping the same guys on the field, and that's when they were sort of able to at least get some yardage on us. Granted, we forced mistakes, but if they don't have a guy out there that's going to be quite as easy to shake up and force into errors, that could be an issue, right?
Yeah, this is why I would much rather have this game at home.
Right, and I think that, and Sabrion said even if he passes, he's got to read coverage, and Blake is going to play mind games with him. I agree, but like Lloyd said, how often are you going to be able to get into these exotic coverages and be set up in things where you can play around a little bit more than just base coverages, where like Lane's going to use that tempo to put you in a tough spot.
And Lane always has something baked in to his offense that there's always a shot on every play. Like if you break a coverage, if you bust a coverage, there's going to be somebody running naked. You saw it last year.
Right.
What was it, the second play of the game? Like if that's caught, that's a different football game already. And Ole Miss pretty much dominated you until the last whistle, where it does, flip the scoreboard, and you had a vintage, and that's why you want to see Garrett Nussmeier be the full version of Garrett Nussmeier, because he won you the football game. Right. Like you had a fourth quarter drive where you had to have it moments where it was behind the sticks, and he was able to throw you to victory by being able to hit Aaron Anderson or being able to convert on 3rd and 11. It was a lot of Nuss, like, go figure it out.
Right. And
now you don't have Caden Durham, or a limited Caden Durham.
Right.
And you haven't been able to run the ball.
We'll see what that. But I really think.
Because you don't want to get into one of those.
No, I agree, and I think, and just to wrap up on the quarterback discussion, I think going into this game, Ole Miss has not faced a defense half as good as what LSU has. Like Arkansas, not very good. Kentucky, probably one of the better ones they face, but still not to LSU's level. Tulane, just a different level of defense. LSU, I think, can cause a lot of problems for them. They have the playmakers. A lot of the plays you saw getting made down the field in those clips in those games, those opportunities aren't going to be there against LSU because they are that good on the back end. They are better with draw against, or the zone read maybe. I know it was QB draw against Tulane where he gets around outside. LSU doesn't have MAs like that where they don't set the edge. They do an extremely good job through these games of doing those things. So I think this LSU defense can cause a lot of issues for what Ole Miss is going to try to do, and I really like the defense in this matchup. Like I think LSU, if there's a defense that's built and made to shut down what Ole Miss is going to be able to do, it's the speed and the talent that LSU has. The talent on the back end at the safety spot, the corners that they have and the way they play, the pressure they can get up front. And then Harold Perkins is the cheat code of this football game. And I know we say it every single week, but that's who he is. True. You know, like you want to figure out somebody or something that can slow down Trinidad Shambliss and his ability to run 15 times against Arkansas and 14 times against Tulane, or you want to maybe get them out of that. It's number 7 in purple and gold. Mm-hmm. That's who he is. He is that fast. He is that athletic. He's that smart and that savvy. And he's the key to this football game.
How awesome is it to already know that it's a Perk game? Like,
it's
the best feeling it's the best feeling.
It's Tuesday before
he's gonna be flying around.
And that's
if I have to bet on one person to win me a football game,
it's the ace card, man.
It's 7.
This defense is fast.
Yep.
All 11 spots are fast. And the guys that are coming off the bench, they're fast. They fly around. They get to the football. Their pursuit angles are excellent. It's 11 hats to the ball every time. They're impressive, man, and this is a defense that can cause problems for that offense. And as good as Chambliss is, like you saw in the film, LSU's got the ace card, and it's number 7 in purple and gold. And it's hard to think anything different than that.
And
so